Ready?
Yep. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight for the season 11 premiere of the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two incredible hosts, Mr. E.L. Discipline, and with him always, myself, Suhey Sotomayor. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Center Stage Music Studios and Joe, the manager. He's awesome. Link is in the description. Also, become part of our Patreon family and subscribe for more exclusive contents. We have different tiers there. You can choose. It's patreon.com/the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Also, a couple of more, I forgot the word I'm trying to say, news. Don't forget Mr. Eel Discipline books. You have 7 to choose from, even though a couple of them are book series, so you might want to just get all of them. And those are available on Amazon Books, barnesandnobles.com, and more. Link in the description. Also, for our online merch, we have some stuff here. We have Mr. Eel Discipline has his water bottle. I have my cup. And that is on disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. We have some new gear that we just made, so go hit that up, go check it out. Different categories. We're also on major listening platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, and much more. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to be notified for new content on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the live chat for any questions. So, with that being said, Mr. Eel Discipline, you're going to do your thing?
Oh man,
He's a busy man. He's a busy man, people.
Doing all this stuff, man, by
Tired?
ourselves. Check. Like, I don't get to do mic checks till I sit down.
But from doing it, it's already perfect. You already know where to put it.
Not always. Check. All right. We back. Check. We back. Check. We back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know y'all fiends and had to do that to remember. Y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we are on Patreon for exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is a judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt. But make sure our children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vocal conversation. Prepare your minds to be fed, light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're back.
We got that right.
What? That wasn't even rehearsed, okay?
We got that right.
So before I give you what the topic is, you know how we do. We got to clear that energy, clear that air. Got to clear myself. Got to clear it all. All right. Season 11 premiere, episode 111, angel number. Challenge her mentally, support him emotionally and spiritually. All right. I like that topic. Mr. Discipline, why should a man challenge his woman mentally?
Well, when we look at women today, we we look at women today and the things that they have to go through on a daily basis.
Like what?
A lot of women's problems is that they're in their head.
Say it again for the ones in the back.
So I said this at the master class. When a man can lead, it puts a woman's mind at ease. And we could categorize lead in so many
Different ways.
synonyms. That's what I wanted to say. So lead can be a synonym for take charge. A lead can be a synonym for control. Lead can be a synonym for dominate. So when a man dominates, when a man controls, when a man takes charge, puts a woman's mind at ease. You know, when a woman gets in her head, it's stressful. She's gonna have to, oh, what I gotta do today? Decisions stress out women, even if they're doing it on a daily basis. They're CEOs of their companies or whatever it is. It stresses them out. So that's number one. Number two, challenge her mentally, make her think, make her hold herself accountable. You know, make her look internally, rooted issues or whatever. I mean, we're not trying to pick on the women and saying it's just women that have issues, but you know, challenging somebody mentally can be an array of things, making them hold themselves accountable, making them rethink their actions, questioning them, you know, discipline, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, making them take responsibility. Same thing with accountability, you know? So that's why I say that men should challenge her mentally, you know, also how women and men are on a biological scientific aspect. Women are more mental and emotional than men.
Yeah, definitely.
So in a way, like, if you can challenge her mentally, you can touch her woman. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I feel like. I feel like a man should challenge her mentally to help her grow individually and together as a couple. Because I've heard so many women say, you know, men don't usually go that deep.
This doesn't even have to be a relationship.
Right. No, definitely
Could be
not.
A coworker. Could be a
father daughter type. Yeah, definitely. But in I guess in a relationship type, you know, area, men don't do that naturally. You know what I mean? Maybe a father will do that with his daughter, hopefully, you know what I mean? But in the dating realm, men don't really do that. They're looking for, like, you know, all right, let me see how she's gonna go to see if she's gonna give me access or not. And they're not even thinking about her mental, you know, her mental. So why do you think a woman should support him emotionally?
You're right about that. Let's get into that more.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Let's get into that more. So so a man like that is passive. Would you say that?
Yeah.
So when you think about it, right?
Maybe not passive. He's just out for self gain. Selfish, maybe.
Okay. All right, we can say that. But either or, whether he's out for selfish gain or passive, he's gonna put the woman in psychological danger. You know, a strong man makes her feel content, but a weaker man puts her in like psychological danger, or she puts herself at risk to be in psychological danger. So I think that that's passive. You say it's a gain. We could say both. Let me lean toward the passive. So a man like that could also be saying, I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
Going with the flow is already a man just saying it's a free-for-all.
Right. You do you, I do me, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, because unless he elaborates. But going with the flow, it's a free-for-all. So that means even if this relationship was going to be built of something of significance, we're both going to be the leader. And two people can't drive a car at the same time. I'm trying to make a left, you're trying to make a right, and we're swerving on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're bound to get into an accident.
Yeah.
That will definitely put her mind at
not at ease.
At risk.
Yeah.
You know, as far as her mental health, at risk. Because, you know, when he's saying those things, you know, there's no certainty there. There's no security. So now, because she doesn't have security, she's going to be all over the place.
Yep. Oh, her mind is going to wander even more. And she's going to make up all these stories in her, you know, it might not even be true, but because he's not communicating. Yeah. Definitely.
So that's why more men that, like, just approach the dynamic already thinking he's in a like authoritative position, or he's an authoritative figure, approaching it like that, not approaching her like an equal. Most likely he's going to set the stand. But that's why I always emphasize that it's imperative for them to set the standard already. You know what I'm saying? Because then the woman's going to know, like, where she stands, and if she wants to indulging in it or not.
That makes it easier for women
comes down
too.
to.
Yeah.
So but going with the flow thing is not just he's passive, and I think he's feminine when he does this because masculine men are aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's controlled, like we know we dangerous.
Right.
We know we can get aggressive, and we're not gonna do anything that's passive aggressive. That's like feminine energy. Like I would expect a woman to be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be like, oh, what's wrong? Nothing's wrong. And then she's folding her arms.
Mm-hmm. And pouting.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I would expect a woman to do that. But if a woman's like, oh, what's wrong to a man? He's like, nothing's wrong. He's folding his arms. Like,
right. Most people would be like, why are you acting like a bitch for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say I send her somewhere to order something. And I'm like, yo, we're not cooking today. Like, you're not cooking, da-da-da-da. I send her somewhere and I'm like, go get the takeout food. Whatever people do today, Uber, whatever,
Uber Eats,
Uber Eats, whatever they do, Chinese, right? Comes back and he's like, "Damn, you didn't get the specific order right, or you didn't get some type of sauce or whatever it is." And he's like, "I ain't eating."
Pouting. Now.
So in a way, like me personally, if she fucked up, I just gonna like, yo, don't let it happen again. But I'm not gonna let myself starve.
No.
Just because she didn't get one thing. Like that's feminine energy. You see what I'm saying? Like
I would be like, how far is it? Can you go back and grab it then?
Me, I wouldn't care. I'd just be like, yo, the food is here.
Right.
Like get it better next time. But it's not gonna make me want to stop. Like that's passive aggressive. Instead of being aggressive and saying, you know what? Like this is that. You know, you should have a memory. What made you forget? Making her hold herself accountable. You know what I'm saying? And you putting the standards like, I don't like this. This is not gonna happen again. Not like pouting and just be like, yo, I'm not gonna eat now. Because you got the shit wrong. Or like saying, oh, you got the shit wrong, then punishing you for it.
Right.
Like,
and not even telling you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like that's because it comes down to you setting the standard. So if you're a man and you're just not gonna open your mouth because you think that it's being bitch, like a bitch or doing bitch shit, if you're talking about your feelings or this hurt me, I ain't like this. Don't ever do this again. There'll be consequences. It will seem like to a lot of men and to a lot of women, because they're socially conditioned, oh, he's acting like a bitch. When the opposite, it's not. It goes down to setting standards and knowing that we're both going to hold ourselves accountable in this dynamic, because if I'm already providing for you, I'm holding myself accountable.
Right.
We're both going to hold ourselves accountable. But if it's like in a situation where you're complaining, then it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like a man needs to set standards and, yo, there's consequences to this. If she's going to try to argue, walk away. I'm not arguing.
Right. This is what it is.
Versus a guy that's like going to complain like, oh, you ain't doing this. You ain't doing that no more. You don't feel, why you don't you love like me? That sounds pouting, like a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He clearly has no control there. He's not stating no rules or standards and what can happen with this. You might lose me. I'm not saying something stupid like her not getting the right food.
Right,
but certain standards, like maybe, oh, if I catch you talking to a guy or whatever, it's over. Like there's no standard. Like you're gonna forgive her for that. Keep taking it, like keep being like an emotional masochist. Like I call them emotional masochists. They just keep allowing disrespect.
Going back to what you said about it's socially conditioned that if a man speaks, what he's feeling, like people will consider that feminine or something.
Yeah.
And I
also depends.
I agree with you, especially people of color, Hispanics, Black. Our men are taught from young, don't cry, don't do any of that. But I don't, which leads us into our second question: why should she support him emotionally? I think how, like you said, a man stating, I don't like this, or it hurt me when you did this, or whatever, that's not complaining. That's stating how he feels. And everybody should be allowed to, express how you feel. But don't do it in a crying manner, in a pouty manner, in a whining manner, in a nagging manner. That is all feminine energy, like you said, because that's what women do.
Also holding her like giving her harsh punishment, like holding her accountable and punishment are two different things. But like giving her harsh punishment for something you never even put on the table in the beginning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like she just does something and you don't like it, but you never articulate it. Right. And you
How
punish
is she
her
supposed
however.
To know?
Exactly. Right. You see what I'm saying? So That's another one. Why
Mhm.
are you done with the emotional part? You were
Why
saying?
should she support him emotionally? No, I mean, I think that should start not only, when you meet your partner, that should start as a child. You should support your children, especially your male sons, because we already do that with our female daughters. But you should, teach your son it's okay to show emotion. Just, there's a time and a place for it. You can't just cry for every little thing. You can't just cry because you bumped your head or you scraped your knee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a time and a place. And if you do feel, you bumped your head and you're gonna cry, all right, cry for the 5 seconds that it takes, and then get up, dust yourself off, and move on. But it's imperative, I feel, to start when they are children. And now, if you meet a man that hasn't had that done, for him, and is emotionally closed off, it's even more important than that you support him. And that doesn't mean, women have such a tendency of, you can cry to me, you can open up to me, you can, and that's all fine and true and good and dandy, but don't push it either. If this man has grown up not doing that, you telling him constantly, you can open up, that sounds like, nagging. Now you're pushing him further. Give him his space. He'll come to you. He'll do it when he finds that trust, when he builds that trust with you.
That's great that you can decipher that,
Thank you.
because a lot of women can't.
Well,
at
because
least-
they
at least-
want to be,
at
the
least
savior.
ones I've met,
Mhm.
whether it was I coached them or fitnessly. It's not even a word.
Fitness. You be making up your own vernaculars.
But I coached them on a fitness aspect,
Mhm.
personal trainer,
Mm-hmm.
or spiritual coach, like, relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very rare that you find women that could actually decipher. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because not a lot of people are just, their third eye is not open.
Yeah. Well, I think a
So-
lot of people think that supporting somebody emotionally has to be, divulge all your secrets. Tell me how you're that's not always how it is. A lot of the times, if you see that your partner, specifically, ladies, your partner that doesn't talk when he's feeling a type of way, keeps everything to himself, you should know your man. If you see him quiet, where normally he's, he talks with you throughout whatever you're doing, and he's quiet, he's going through something. So all you got to do is rub his shoulders and just tell him, whatever you're going through, I'm here for you, and then continue about it. It doesn't have to be that.
That takes time and work.
That does take time and work, and that's why you have to be
'Cause-
patient with that.
Because, most modern relationships are not sticking together
Right, because
So-
nobody has time and patience.
and putting in
Right.
to put in work.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is like something that's like second nature. Like you saw the movie Ghost,
Oh,
Did you?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Patrick
Of
Swayze,
course, a million times. Yeah.
Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So
Whoopi Goldberg.
remember when Whoopi was playing was she a psychic or something?
Medium.
Okay.
Medium.
And he
She-
was speaking right next to her.
Yeah.
And the ditto term,
When
When
she used
she-
to say "I love you" to him.
and he would say ditto.
Right.
So they've got time together, and they probably say that on a daily. So and that's how she believed her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because
I'm
if she
talking to
would've
Sam.
said-
I'm talking to Sam. He's right here. How the fuck I remember this shit?
Right.
I'm talking to
Right.
Sam. I'm talking to Sam, which was played by Patrick Swayze.
Mm.
And then Whoopi Goldberg, Ona May. So, I'm talking to Sam right here. Oh, I don't believe you. You're a scammer. You're
Yeah.
whatever. It's not verbatim.
Mm-hmm.
You're a scammer or whatever. I don't believe you. I'm gonna call the cops.
Yeah.
And then he's tell a ditto. Tell a ditto. What does ditto mean?
Yeah.
Just tell a ditto. Just tell a ditto. He says ditto. Only they know it.
Right.
It's like the Dom and Sophia character I created in the Stuck Between Two Different Worlds book series.
Mm-hmm.
They have their code
their
word.
own. Yep.
Their code words. Like I need a dinner reservation for 12.
Mm-hmm.
What? 12 people. There's a code word.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know what that means.
because you read the books. and shit.
I still know what it means.
What does it mean?
It's a cleanup. 'Cause they
Okay.
just. Come on.
All right. Emotionally, why should she support him emotionally? Women are more emotional than men. This has been proven scientifically, there's research out there. Women are more emotional than men. That is part of their power. Now, if they're not utilizing it in a conducive way, especially to their dynamic, it becomes a toxic and it becomes negative and it doesn't work. But that's part of their power. They cultivate everything. They attract everything. They can add love to a lot of things. They are in control of the spiritual realm.
The
women. So if they're able to dive into their power, you know what I'm saying? Like there's some women out today that's like, oh, you know, I gotta be masculine. He gotta be dominant for me to be submissive. Da, da, da. You should be trying to embodying that on a daily basis.
To attract what you want.
You have a vagina.
Oh my Lord. Yes.
You should be trying to be feminine on a daily basis. Not because, oh, if he's strong enough, man
Then
enough,
I
whatever,
will,
got
right.
money, got this, got a big dick, whatever, can fuck me, can seduce me, words, whatever it is, different women, submitting for different things. That's the prerequisite to my submission. It should be like that you are already embodying this, and then you're like, he's worthy, I'm going to submit.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're observing the type of work, not the tangible things.
Well, that's also part of generational curses on both sides.
You know, so I'm just going to get back to it because I went off to kind of explain and do it layman terms.
Go ahead.
If women, why should they be emotional? Because that is part of their power. And men, especially like you just said earlier, we were taught to not be in our emotions. You see what I'm saying? So this is the yin and the yang. She brings what I lack.
Exactly.
So it's like I could go in and I could be like frustrated or whatever it is, you know, but she could like bring that calm. She can't be frustrated and going crazy too. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like when she brings that level of calm, like that emotional intelligence that, you know, oh, he's feeling rough today. I remember this is what puts him in a good mood, or maybe he's stressed out. And what if he wants a back rub or something? That's a woman getting in her emotions, listening to a man vent.
Yep.
There could be women out there that's like, yo, I got 3 kids. The guy that I'm engaging with is not the father of either of them. We're just good. We're having a good time right now. But the reality is, he's just a body. He's just dick to you because you're not going to get in your emotions to be like, why is this motherfucker talking to me about his goals and his dreams? No, fuck. When are you coming over to fuck me again? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're highly in the masculine, but you got to get in your emotions to be emotional.
And to balance them out.
So if you're shutting that down as a woman because men hurt you or during the day, that's how you are, and you embody that 24/7, if you're embodying that, you're not going to be able to exude that upon somebody else because of energy.
With the emotional?
Yeah, because they're not in tune with their female emotions. So they can't even like, man, he's stressed out right now, instinctively know what to do.
And also I feel
he's going through a rough time. Like they don't know how to motivate. They don't know how to inspire. They don't know how to remind him he's a king. They don't know even how to speak to the king in them because there was no, well, that's the next episode, education for them. But that's the next one. But you know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to.
I also think, like I was saying before, it's that's part of generational curses. Like both the men being taught not to be in their, you know, to feel their emotions, and a woman, when, like how you just stated, is a single mother and has a bunch of other stuff. That's also a generational curse, thinking that she has to suppress all these emotions because now she has to play both roles. You know what I mean?
It's a hard thing to do.
It's hard. Yeah, it's very hard. But I like what you said. A woman, you know, ladies, we should always strive to be in that feminine role. Not, you know, not just for what Mr. Discipline said, but also that is part of the feminine energy is that we attract. So if you are in your role of being soft and of being, then you're going to attract the person that you want. You putting up this front of being, you know, tough and hard and have no emotions, guess what you're going to attract? The same type of guy who is hard, has no emotions, and is meeting you at that space. Damn, did I smoke some of that? Did I smoke what you got?
I was about to say,
I'm going in today.
You absorbing
That's
what I've been doing.
crazy.
It took 11 seasons. You listening, huh? Took 11 seasons. There could be women out there and people, men too, could be male feminists, right? You know, everybody's cool. No hate. That could be saying, what makes him qualified to tell women what they should do and shouldn't do? She should be qualified because she's a woman. Who cares what he has to say about women? He doesn't have a vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, almost like a man's opinion doesn't matter. But I'm telling you right now, like, any type of woman that has the guts to tell me that, I just counter that like a boxer, a counter hitter, like with the counter of everything in this world men built. So they have prestige to this community, society, and world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people could say, oh, you came from a woman. You actually started out from a man. Because without the seed, even if you're like, oh, I don't need a physical dick or whatever, I go to the hospital, it's still, you're still getting it from that.
Yep.
You're getting it from a random man. Maybe you won't know who, but you're getting it from it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, like, that's what I would say. A lot of people are just unaware of certain things. So they might repeat what other people repeat. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know. It's just what they said made them feel good. So now they take it, that's true.
Yeah.
So they start to repeat it like something like that. If somebody said that, oh, he shouldn't be, because at the end of the day, like, you should care what men think. Especially if they want to cuff you, because you're not going to get down and get the ring. Or if
you want to get cuffed.
You're also not going to be like, because a lot of women are not bold to be like, we go together. You're going to wait for him to be like, let me see if he's interested. What are we? What am I to you? Do I have a title? You know what I'm saying? She's waiting for that man to claim.
Yeah.
So then his opinion should matter, especially when it pertains to relationship. But keep going, because I'm going to get on a thing if we don't. A spill and just start like it's fucking Sunday and they got to pass offering.
Jesus. For the man, sometimes discipline is necessary in order to check her, hold her accountable, challenge her potential, push her limits in a healthy manner, make her think and then rethink her actions, remind her of her place or even her role, make her aware there are repercussions for bad behavior. Don't make it easy. Most women, however, not all of them, never had to work for anything in their life. And most men make it easy. That's why they don't stand out. They really contribute to women's bad behaviors or reinforce them without realizing it. Now, when you say they never had to work for anything in their life, what are you talking about? Something specific or just generally?
In general. Even before time, like at some point, men were the only genders that could work. You see what I'm saying? So like now, if we look now, we're not even talking about the entire course of history. We're just looking now. That wouldn't be true because women are working, even if it's manual labor, driving a forklift.
Yeah.
Female construction workers.
Yeah, I was about to say, I know.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of women want to avoid doing that, but you know, the physical work, that's part of it. The mental work, the office.
Yeah.
Surgeons. You know what I'm saying? Like the emotional work, the spiritual work. Then I would be wrong.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about the whole course of, you know, the evolution of, well, the origin of human beings and then the evolution. Like if we're looking at all of that in one global sphere,
right?
That's what I mean.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know, because like at the end of the day, like a lot of men did everything for women, buildings, whatever it was, streets. You know,
I mean, it even starts
walk their kids.
It starts at home. The dad.
You know, so at some level, like men just thought we just got to give women everything, treat women like ladies, but they never say treat men also like
gentlemen,
gentlemen, kings. So that's why I say it. It normally is that way. but everything starts with the man. Were you gonna say that, or did you say that?
No, I did not say that.
Everything starts with the man and ends with the man. So
Oh no, I said with the father. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beginning.
Yeah. So, why do you think most men today don't hold women accountable?
The labels, the shame, the like for what we've been taught for so long, how we should treat women. You're the bad guy of the bunch.
And also, don't tell me what to do.
You hate women. That's why you hate women. These are shame words. They do it instinctively. They do it subconscious. They don't even realize it's quick. I was never taught that way. Even in school, even in my house, I was never taught that way. It's quick. It's quick. You don't even think about it. It's quick reaction.
From the women?
Quick, men too. He don't like women probably.
I got you.
He doesn't like women probably. So
the man that's holding the women accountable are getting attacked quickly like that.
So a lot of men may just think, like, let's say somebody never been to jail, but they just heard about it. That might not be good. He's stating it on the possibility. He never did it before.
Right.
I have these thoughts too, but I don't want to say in public because this could happen.
Right.
They don't know. A motherfucker that probably was raised in Beverly Hills, Silver Spoon baby, could buy his way out of tickets, stuff, whatever, judges, is never gonna think in that aspect.
Right, that he has limitations.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. And I also feel like women are taught how to get our own way.
So instinctively, that person who is wealthy, that could do that has that influence. Wait, he's going to be looking at it on a perspective of, I know of jail, but because I've never been there, I've just heard stories about it. But what if I could go there? It's probably be infested with rats. It's probably, they're already making their preconceived notions, their assumptions.
Right.
Without
actually.
Yeah, so guys might think, I've been thinking about this. But this might start a fight.
Yep.
It might start a fight with my lady too. She might start throwing things. You ain't never seen her throw things from the 2 years that you've been with her. It's a scarcity mindset of what could be. I'm pretty sure a lot of guys would say this stuff, but they think the women are gonna come after me, or they're gonna hate me. I'm not gonna be able to get dates anymore. I'm gonna scare pussy away. I'm gonna do this. I gotta go home to my wife, and she gonna be like, "You really think like that?" Oh, baby, I'm just putting on a show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they can't do it because they're looking at these possibilities.
Oh my God, I was watching a show. I think a show that you had told me about. One of the characters was a very dominant woman, a black woman, right? And her man, she was selling a book saying how she is, alpha woman or something like that. And then she just got back together with like an old boyfriend, and she's supposed to be portraying this single, tough woman. And her publicist got wind that, her boyfriend came and hugged her. He's like, "This is not a good look for you."
What show is it?
The one, I think the girl was married.
I told you about it?
Yeah, a girl was married and she had a different life, her past life. Her best friend, that was the author. I forgot the name.
It's Sex Life on Netflix.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm scrolling through Netflix, just scrolling through.
It's a good show.
I see it pop up, and I hit you up about it. Sex Life.
Yeah. Well, I was watching it, and in that, but
that's true. Yeah. You're right. It's the image.
The image. I also think, though, you could always tell somebody something, whether you like it or you don't like something about them. It's how you tell them. Like, people are probably gonna be cursing us out on the live chat or whatever for my statement right now. But Samuel Adams, that's a drink. Samuel, the guy that died, who used to talk hella shit about Kevin Samuels. I didn't like the man specifically, but some of the things he said were true. It's his delivery that was so off. You know what I mean? Like, I listened to some of his stuff, and it's not like he was lying. It's not like what he was saying was not true. It's how he said it. And if somebody's telling you something in such a negative way, what are you gonna do? You're gonna turn your volume off. I don't want to hear what he got to say, even though what he's saying was true.
Mm.
I think you could always be able to talk as long as you know your audience and how to speak.
Mm.
You don't agree with that.
That is how the woman would feel. That's why a lot more people were getting at him that were women, because
I wasn't tuning him out.
If you were a woman that was saying his delivery or his tone was off, then that's right, because you're getting in your emotions. You're looking at feeling versus fact. Even in coaching, like life coaching, I teach this. Like when we have to go to school and get certified and stuff, they taught us the same thing: feeling versus fact.
Right.
So those women are more in their feelings.
Right.
And the tone and the delivery is triggering them. So now they're becoming deaf. And they just see aggression. Right. And they see, oh, hate, women.
Right. So my whole thing is... He was trying to
actually bring, especially the black community, together.
He had a very weird way of doing that. But my whole point is, it's just what he said, what he was saying was right. Right. But
the feeling...
Not even the feeling is how... Okay, the feeling...
It might be more to you. Or someone else. The feeling of it.
But
yeah, it's true, the feeling of it. I'm saying a lot of things that make sense. I don't like it's coming from him.
It's not that it's coming from him.
Hold on. I don't like that it's coming from him. And I don't like that it's coming from a man. Because I'm still unhealed from these past guys. So, oh man, and if he was a black guy, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you understand what I'm saying? So now they're saying that's one aspect. The second aspect, I'm getting too loud on the mic. Maybe I need to tone it down. It's like, let me just talk it like this and make it so nice. And, like I'm singing a lyric too, like make it soft like that instead of getting loud. Like all of these things are triggering senses. So people that are not, their third eye is not open, all they're seeing is aggression. Now it's associated with hate for women. Now they're, look at it, it's coming from, he's probably hurt. You understand what I'm saying? That's where those unhealed individuals will come from. It's going to root from there. It's going to come from there.
Okay. How can women be more present for the man or in the dynamic?
What do you think?
How can women be more present?
You know what? Well, yeah, you could give your opinion, but I think the best one is coming from a man.
Oh, I got mine all mixed up, my answers. I think that they should be more mindful.
Yeah, I'm saying this should come out. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at this way, how can women be more present for the man? It's like the man is asking this question.
Right. I think that women should be more, well, I think everybody, but since it's specifically how can a woman, I think be more mindful. Think ahead of what your partner, may be needing or wanting. Just be more mindful be mindful of what you guys are talking about. Be mindful of your emotions. Be mindful of his emotions. Just be mindful. If you're mindful, that means you're present, mentally there.
And you had to have learned that from a man. Because I don't think women, we come out the womb. I don't think women, y'all come out the womb that way. I don't think women,
Yeah, you came out of the womb.
We all came out the womb. So I don't think as women, as you guys are women, y'all are looking to instinctively know how to treat men in many different circumstances. Stress, he's horny, he's aroused. Like, I don't think all of y'all learned that from a man.
I did.
So that's why I'm
correct.
saying. That's why I'm saying you can have your opinion on this, but I think this is more for to ask men out there. How can the woman be more present for the man and in the dynamic, especially if he's going to control the relationship? Because most women are going to want a man to take control. They're going to want to submit. You said a lot of the stuff that is good true,
answer. But answer.
Also, did you add be there emotionally?
Well, I just said mindful. I feel sexually. Like it was like a blanket. statement.
Okay, so be there like sexually. You know what I'm saying? Some men like appreciation. You know, you have to be in your
Definitely.
emotions for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, be patient, be submissive, be faithful.
Mm-hmm. Be open.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable. You know, so
That's
how
a
could
hard one.
yeah? So
Being
I
vulnerable.
would say that, but
Mm-hmm.
that's a question that we could go out into New York City and just ask the guys.
I'm gonna circle that.
Seduction. This is part of challenging her mind, elevate her to her optimal level, give her tasks. It depends on the woman you're dealing with. Some women are caregivers. I believe all women are caregivers by nature, but some women doesn't even matter if they do a masculine job. Like they might be traditional, they hold themselves accountable. It's just like robotic,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And they might say, "This is how I am," and when I'm in a relationship. And I'm traditional and I'm this and I'm that. I hold myself accountable. I don't have male friends. I delete everybody and whatever. I stay off social media. That's them holding themselves accountable regardless of the man because that's how they are all the time
Mm-hmm.
when in a relationship. You know, it could be that in an aspect. A woman is worth more than sex, more than just to look at. Know how to utilize her powers to her benefit and yours. Every person has a strength and a weakness. Just like I said, you got to learn her strengths. Don't focus so much on her weaknesses or flaws. I think pointing out insecurities for both parties is childish. We all have them. Only God and the cosmic forces and are perfect or flawless. So use those strengths you have, paid attention to,
Mm-hmm.
and for your advantage and hers.
I
So that's
agree.
part of the seduction. I think when people think of seduction, they kind of just lump it into one category or
Mm-hmm.
one gender.
Mm-hmm.
Women are seductive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't look at it like, oh, men, there's maybe it's a handful are seductive too.
Yeah.
There's just different ways of seduction. Like
Mm-hmm.
being a gentleman can be seduction, part of foreplay before the real foreplay.
Mm-hmm. Even taking control, that could be seductive too.
Mm-hmm.
I think people just, like you said, they see seduction in one way, in a sexual way, and just usually one sex, like how
Mm-hmm.
you said. Um, I believe every relationship is contractual, whether it's an invisible contract or physical, figurative or literal. Give and take, you do, I do. You provide something, I serve something. You or I build something, you or I nurture or cultivate or maintain it. I agree with that too.
Yeah.
That's how it. I mean, that's how it should be. Um, Women need maintenance, and I'm not talking about financial. Maintaining her beauty, women products. She knows how to do that better than you. Do you plan to put the tampon in her too? That's interesting. And wipe her ass for her? No, I mean real maintenance. What people don't talk about today. Like what?
Emotional maintenance,
Hmm.
spiritual maintenance, um, you know, maintenance sexually,
Hmm.
so maintenance, we kind of think of it like an object.
Yeah. Like a
This
car.
this yeah, my washing machine is
Mm-hmm.
broken.
Mm-hmm.
I need the maintenance guy.
Yeah.
So you correlate that with like finance
Yeah.
because I'm dishing out to get
Yep.
it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So maybe that's a trigger word for people and they automatically, oh, finance
Right.
in their cognitive part of their
Mm-hmm.
brain.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Like if
but
a woman wants to
maintenance,
maintain her nails or her man, then she's gonna do
yeah.
this. You want me to
But
maintain
it's
it? Yeah.
it's the emotional.
Yeah. That's the more important one.
It's the sexual. It may not even be the physical sexual,
Mm-hmm.
mind sex.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have ingrained your essence, your identity in her mind so much that she could be in the room full of billionaires, millionaires, deals, whatever it is they're talking about. They're laughing, they're in corporate, party, whatever. If I told her I needed her at 7 o'clock and she knows I say what I mean
Mm.
because I've ingrained all these things in her head, she knows that if I'm not there at 7 o'clock, something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. There's gonna be problems.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's a man of his word.
Mm.
If he says 7 o'clock, it probably means 7 o'clock or 6:55.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or there's like repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
So when like it doesn't matter if there's guys in there with more money than me or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I told her that, she gonna come by 6 o'clock. If I live 30 minutes, she gonna be thinking of traffic, this and that. I don't want to be late. She gonna be planning already
Right,
to
making
say
her way
her
to the door.
goodbyes.
Yep.
So now, like, she's looking at her clock.
Mm-hmm.
She's not gonna be in there like, oh, these guys got more money than him. Da, 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 da. We're laughing, having a good
Right.
time. That whatever, because you got her mind.
Right. She's not gonna forget about you.
Yeah, you got her
Mhm.
mind.
Definitely.
So now the body moves where the mind is going.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
That's why you're maintaining her mind.
I've seen and I've heard the most rich men get cheated on.
Yeah. Okay. Men should possess good communication skills, good conflict resolving skills, great emotional intelligence skills, be solution oriented, display great leadership qualities, have plans. Why must he have all of these? Well, I'm going to say that the emotional intelligence skills, not all of them have that. I don't think. I don't think a lot of men.
Should.
Oh, the thing is, should have.
yeah.
Yeah, they all should have. And why should they have these? I mean, it makes him a better person for himself, which then in turn will make him a great leader for his family,
I was
for
thinking
his
about
wife.
the same thing.
You know what I mean? Like, it starts with you. I had this conversation with one of my girlfriends. You know, it starts with you and your self-love and how you hold yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself and you try to love someone else, it's not that that doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So a man should have all of that so that he can teach all of that to his children, to his woman, to his peers.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what? Let me get some of that because it's all what?
You want to get tricked again? Psych. You
I remember
trying
that.
to bring that back? Like,
No thanks.
It wouldn't happen.
No thanks.
Let's see. You're right. These are all things that are synonymous to making you a great leader.
Mhm.
That's what I was gonna say. So let's see. Women should possess great mental stability, emotional maturity. That's essential. Good communication skills as well. The ability to identify her triggers, good or bad ones.
That's a hard one too.
Her heart must be free of resentment from partners or partner.
Mm-hmm.
Why must she have these? Go ahead.
I think that a woman should, have all of these, nurture all of these, maintain all of these for the same reason that the man should have his skills and qualities. Because when you have all of this, also, you're, like I said earlier, you're in your feminine, you're attracting. So if you're in this, right, then you're going to attract the man that we just described. Now, both of you together have this incredible power, and you can teach your children, your offspring, teach others how to do this, and it makes your life just easier.
That's good.
Not as good as the guy.
That's good.
But it's pretty all right. It's okay.
I believe that this will allow her to be present.
Mm.
That's what I believe in the dynamic.
Definitely.
Part of these things that I mentioned,
and it helps her grow.
We went through, is a woman's power.
Mm.
So if, like, for example, if she's not mentally stable, that's like a lot of other problems coming its way. You know what I'm saying?
That's like the main one, because if she's not mentally stable, everything else is going to go downhill. And to have emotional maturity, I think that's a hard one for everybody, but because women are so emotional, like we're emotional driven, that's very hard. And in order for a woman, that you really got to work on that. Like that's a tough one. But once you got that down pat, I think, anything else that comes to you, that, any confrontation or any problems, if you have emotional maturity, whatever comes at you, it doesn't let you fly off the handle. You know what I mean? It doesn't let you act erratic. It doesn't, if you have it, you're good. Let's see.
Your woman should never tell you she's bored. Because she should be keeping her mind, or she should be teaching her, or you should be teaching her to keep her mind busy. Find a hobby, get off social media. I know I've done and said stuff like this. Read more books, listen to educational or motivational podcasts, not like relationship podcasts, especially if they undermine your man's authority or doesn't work for your own dynamic or contrary to your dynamic, going against your relationship's principles or beliefs. You get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not for those like female podcasts that, talk about those stupid things that's gonna kill your brain cells. Like how much of a whore they were
Oh
and
my
shit like that.
goodness, yeah.
Because then that's gonna just be like, oh, they're not being held accountable. And then it's gonna be like, oh, it's okay for me to do it.
Right. Well, I guess it depends on how they're saying it. Like if they're like, I was such a whore back in the days and I regret it because XYZ happened from it. At least she's trying to teach through her own experience. But if you have these like, oh girl, I was such a whore and like reminiscing on it like it was the good old days, then that's different. I agree with you with that.
Good.
No, I'm just finishing because we become what we absorb. We are spirits in flesh, not the other way around. Have her leave drama and reality shows. Eventually, she will bring that drama to you and your relationship. This all may sound controlling and toxic to the unhealed person or people. However, if you do this, you will protect your woman's energy, induce better mental health and spirit. If not, I'm sure this sounds weird to you. Or overprotectively toxic. Do you think that's what you are? Overly protectively toxic? No. Overly protectively toxic? That's like an oxymoron. Overly protectively.
Because then I would not allow them to have social media.
Okay.
Like I would be like controlling versus dominant. Like we got a lot of these coming up next episode or two, but a man can never be controlling because she had to have submitted for him to do what I'm saying? It's always like when the shit go left and it's bad, and now maybe one person is talking about how the dynamic was. Oh, my last man was controlling, but he really wasn't.
Well, you're only getting one side of the story.
Yeah, because she might have certain desires that she might not say.
Right.
Like, I don't want that pussy shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want no soft dude.
Right.
I
also don't think that.
So, like, for me, no, I've never been. Even when I was toxic when I was younger.
You were never overly protectively controlling.
Yeah, and I come from a different type of family.
Everybody's dominant.
Like that? It's not just that. Like how I was raised in the church and stuff. Even though I was in the streets and stuff like that, I was still in the church. So you already ingrained like God and how things should be and men and women. So you're still getting it, even though I'm still getting street education and stuff like that and adjusting to different environments.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Cities, but like that's what I mean. So like even back then when I was toxic, it wasn't even like that ever extreme. So now like you look at it like I'll let a woman watch a reality show. But the moment I see that she might be bringing drama here I never seen before, now I might cut that off as punishment.
That makes sense,
you know
though.
what? I'm cutting that off as punishment. You're going to hold yourself accountable too. And now you're going to read a book. You're going to read something that's going to enhance your mind.
See, that wouldn't be a punishment for you. Like, ooh, unless are you picking the book that they have to read? Because like, can I pick my own book? I guess I got books.
Yeah, could be, yeah.
I also don't think, though, especially with this statement.
I'm going to be saying like, what I'm saying is like self-help more. So, but go ahead.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick the book, yeah.
Okay. I not for this statement, for this bullet, I don't think it's not just a woman in a relationship should be bored. I feel like if you're bored, that is such a trigger for depression. That is a trigger for anxiety. That is a trigger to get into trouble. And I think that any person, especially a woman, and I'm only this is being brought up because I'm currently in a situation with my girlfriends who she doesn't keep herself busy, so her mind is constantly, she's always constantly making something up in her head that might not be true. And I'm trying to tell her, you need to keep your mind busy, because if not, you're going to be making up all these stories in your head and assuming things that aren't true and driving yourself sick mentally. You're worrying for no reason. It takes a toll not only on your mind, but on your body as well. So if you're bored, get up and find a hobby. Like he said, read a book. How can you not like books? It takes you to a whole, different realm. That's just me. Okay. The woman should invest in a man emotionally and spiritually. That entails praying for him and his safety. Speak to the king in him. Don't emasculate or tear him down. The world does that already. Learn to motivate him and be an inspiration for him. Less nagging, less complaining, less projecting, guilt tripping, and less blaming. I totally agree. But I feel like an unhealed person, an unhealed woman, a woman that has lots of trauma, who has, dealt with men who, maybe were not in their divine masculinity. It's hard because we, just keep stacking those resentments up.
You know what the resolution for that is?
What?
The solution to that problem is who you're choosing. Because some people could be saying, and especially women, they could be yelling at the screen right now about the prerequisite. Oh, why should I invest in a man emotionally and spiritually if he's not going to be this, if he's not going to be that, if he's not going to a certain amount of money? He got to make 6 figures, whatever their criteria is.
You know what I would say to
there's different
that?
women. Or if he doesn't have a big dick, if he can't lead, all of these are prerequisites. It comes down to the choice. This is the solution. Women, don't get with guys that you're not going to be present there. Easy. If I know that the dude that told me he's going with the flow, I'm not going to be submissive there. And I love being this, especially I had a dude in the past that was like this. And I didn't even know I like cooking for my man. But this guy, it's not going to be any standards here now. I'm going to be asking him, oh, what color should I do my nails? And he's going to be like, that sounds controlling. Why are you asking me? I'm not a girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
So now she's going to be like, yo, you
right,
know what
she's
I'm saying?
not
And
used to that.
this is women in general. If you know that guy that's going with the flow, you're not going to be submissive there. And submission is your power. It allows you to be your goddess, your 100% self, not your mortal self, plain vanilla. So if you know, I don't see dominance in him. I don't, whatever it is that their criteria. I don't see this. I don't see that. But it comes down to I'm desperate for a relationship. This guy's giving me the most attention. Boom. I'm going to get it. And then maybe I can change him to be more dominant. Right. Maybe I can change him to be more softer. Maybe I could you understand what I'm saying? Like, just go for your type.
Right. Well, that's a scary thing.
That's not a type. A lot of people will just say tangible things being a type. All this music too. 8 figures, that's my type. That's my type.
What song is that?
I don't know. But one time I went out to the club, I heard it. I like a 8-figure nigga. That's my type. That's my type. You
Dang, I haven't been out a minute. No.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's being embedded in women's subconscious. If they're weak-minded and don't have emotional intelligence, they're not going to be psychologically immune to this. Yeah. It's like Superman was impervious to bullets. They're getting shot. Blah, 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 blah. They're getting hit. Because they're not impervious to this. They don't have that strong mindset to block it out. It's going to let them influence them. Yeah.
I feel like with what you said, where they have these like not standards, but if he's not this, then criteria, right? Then I'm not. I think that goes again back to a woman being, trying to cultivate that femininity, because that is part of who we are, is praying over and giving the man that we're with emotional and spiritual support. I feel like everyone should have that kind of support. Because it's essential for growth and for elevation, and it helps you to connect with your own divinity. You know what I mean? So that's what I say.
Wow, you've learned a lot.
The student has become the teacher.
For example, me, right?
Mm.
Why would I go after a woman who is not gonna let me be dominant there?
Yeah.
Because she
Why would
looks
you?
good, she's young, um, she's competent. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe in her day to day,
Mm-hmm.
and high earner. Why would I like be there? Because if I'm gonna be there, I'm not gonna be able to be Superman. I'm not gonna want to be honest. I'm not gonna want to respect her. I'm not gonna want to value her. I'm not gonna look at it prestige. Oh, you want to be a girlfriend versus a sub? Girlfriend's not prestigious. So like girlfriends don't get benefits that subs get.
Right.
So it's like I'm living vanilla now,
Right.
regular,
Right.
and now I'm gonna be smooth and sneaky.
Right. So,
But when I'm the dominant in that dynamic, like I'm able to trust more, I'm able to be more honest, I'm able to respect more.
Right.
I want to like share my day and stuff like that, be emotionally present.
Right.
That's why like some dudes do fuck buddy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't even realize it. They're not identifying because they don't have knowledge of self.
Yeah. That's so important.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, we're gonna be like, yo, like, he married that woman? I just found out he was married. He married that one. She's completely opposite of me.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
You know what I'm saying? Because she touches him emotionally, his heart. Probably there's a vibration in his heart that responds to the vibrations of submission, like me.
Like I was gonna say, like Dom in the books with Estrella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like he's able to be more present there. That's why Estrella knew so much.
Yeah,
And
more than Sophia.
his wife.
Right. Didn't know anything.
You see what I'm saying? So like, but some men don't know this. Some women don't know it. That's the solution to the problem. Don't go to places and people if you know you're not going to be able to be your authentic energy or self.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Definitely.
That's why I be let women get chances of like watching them, because I know this already. They could be lying on the application because they want the experience.
Yeah.
That every woman is submissive, but it doesn't mean that they're 24/7.
Right. They could be like you said,
circumstantial, bedroom. This, if you could do this, make this amount of money.
Yep.
All of these things can make them submit.
Or submissive to money, like financial.
Character, stuff of that nature. They're falling for all these things can make them submissive.
If the woman doesn't respect or submit to the man, it's because she doesn't see authority in that man.
It's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. That's number one. Number two, she may not have a scarcity mindset because of the delusion of social media options, or already has a bunch of male energy, physical males within proximity, around her on a daily, at work, in her DMs. Three, he doesn't set standards and boundaries, and if they're crossed, there's no punishment, no consequences. For example, that way some people, this is an example for a way people can understand. These women are submitting to their bosses, the police officers in the street, and everyone else in positions of power or authority in society, even other women. She can get mouthy to the boss or a cop, but she might lose her job, go home without pay, get a ticket, or go to jail. That's true. There are consequences. Nothing governs like fear and respect. If she doesn't see consequences, she will run you and her life however she chooses. If she knows there are consequences, she will act right for the betterment of herself and you and the relationship. This is part of challenging her. You can't give her what she wants, only what she needs. You can't give her an inch, then she will take a mile. That's just in her nature, no matter what her upbringing was or what type of man you are.
Now, a woman needs to be aware of this. Like a woman needs to be aware of her own nature. She needs to know herself. That's what this comes down to, this statement. Because, like I said, when you know yourself, you could be present there, everywhere. You know yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't turn it off.
Yeah.
I'm on the mic this way. We had a live workshop. I was like that there. You don't change who you are. You're able to
Exactly.
be present there because you have knowledge of self. This is what it comes down to. But knowing your nature, but also not using it in a way to turn it and get what you want in a manipulative way.
Mm-hmm.
I know we as women could just pout and cry, but I'm not going to do that with my man because that's manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
It comes down to that. Oh, that's a toxic trait. Let me not do that. I love him. I'm not going to do that to him.
Yeah.
You know, it has
Definitely.
to come down to that too. The woman holding herself
Accountable.
accountable.
Yep. That's so hard to do. Oh my
So she
goodness.
has to know this stuff. Like I say this stuff too, because like the having two leaders will always put you on a path to disaster.
Mm. Yeah,
That's why.
I agree.
So it's like if you're letting her lead or kind of giving her equal authority in the dynamic, yo, she could make now. This might not happen all the time, but maybe a few times or two times it happened. Maybe you guys were together for like 2 years. She gonna make a decision off of emotion.
Yes.
And it's gonna be, it
Definitely.
might mess up your business. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say you're a businessman, she's a housewife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like you know of a deal that's going on that you're gonna benefit from for your job. And she
Okay.
wants to put input in there of, oh, I don't like this person, when they don't deal with them. I'm
Mm.
just throwing an example.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, that person works there. There's no interaction. We all gonna make money as a
Mm-hmm.
team. And now you know what I'm saying? Just give
Mm-hmm.
you an example. But because they're in their emotions,
Yep.
you know, they're not thinking of what can come out of that.
Exactly. All they're seeing is the problem.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Yep, I agree. I also there was something else that I wanted to. Oh, I definitely agree with. And I'm saying this because I see my nephew, and he is dealing with his girlfriend of 22 months because they just celebrated 22 months.
Mm,
I don't even know what 22 months is. What is that? Almost 2 years, right?
yeah.
All right. And it's so funny because he was at the master class and something happened where she is a very confrontational, very in her masculine, the girl. And he had just had an altercation with her.
Mm.
After the master class, like he came to me with a specific problem, and I found myself telling him things that you had said, and he was like, that's right, he did say that. Like I would tell him, you got to set the tone. Like she's running amok, she's doing what she want to do because you are allowing her. You haven't set your standards, you haven't set your boundaries. And for the ladies staring at the screen cursing me out, that's how it should be. I have a daughter and I have a son, right? And I tell my son, my nephews, all the males, the young males in my life that come to me for whatever, words of wisdom. I tell them the same thing that I've learned through Mr. Discipline. If you don't set your standards, you're always going to have these problems. Always going to have these problems. And I tell my daughter, who has her boyfriend, if you don't like what he's saying, then have that open communication. But once you talk with him and you see that he's right, then don't fight him anymore on it.
And standards can go both ways.
Yes.
I'm not talking about a woman goes into the dynamic and she just like, you're gonna do this and that sounds too aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
No. She has her own personal standards.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And those personal standards, she knows it within herself. So if they don't meet those standards, why would you even engage?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not gonna be present there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the result. That's the byproduct. You're not going to be present there. So why even, like, you have your own personal standards. It's like I'm always so more hard on the women because they're the ones that are complaining the most. If you know that you want kids one day or more, might have one already. You want to get married because I always had a kid, but my goal was always to get married. Why are you going to be with men that are saying they're going with the flow and thinking, he's going with the flow now, he'll change? They revert back to what are we a year down the line?
Yeah.
And he's still what it is.
Maybe he thinks his flow is going to go that way.
No,
It's
I don't
awful.
think so.
I don't think so either.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that, like, it's passive. It's
Yeah,
passive.
super passive.
So women who are more in tune and their third eye is open, their pineal gland, they're gonna decipher more.
Mm,
You know what I'm
definitely.
saying? They're gonna decipher more. But most women, like, they're not looking for those things. To women today are looking for survival. They're looking to be taken care of. From what I've heard, coaching them or whatever, there was always uh blame.
Mm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's never, well, now I notice that more women are taking accountability. But
Yeah,
in
I
the
was gonna
past,
say,
it was always his fault,
right.
or
He
he
did
made
this. He
me.
did this. He
He
did
made me
right.
feel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
That's a
all of
big
that is
one.
projection.
I
Yes.
still do that, and I catch myself like, "Will you make me?" I start out the conversation like, "You made me feel," in any type of whoever I'm talking, she, he, whoever, and then I gotta take it back, and I'm like, "Well, I felt this, and that." Yeah, that's very hard to do.
Yeah.
Okay, if the man takes the load off the relationship, and I'm not just talking about bills, the woman needs to lighten the load also. That may entail supporting him spiritually, emotionally, being more understanding, accepting, being optimistic, bringing virtue, represent herself in a way that displays what type of relationship and man she belongs to. Be compassionate and loving, more believing, having faith, more praying. That's the best thing a woman can do for a man. Did you get home safe? Did you eat? How was your day? Did you sleep well? How do you feel today? How can I please you today? I know a lot of women are probably screaming at that one. I prayed for you last night. Most women won't do this due to ego, narcissism, traumas, and pride, which all tie in together. This is what kills relationships for a lot of women. The stubbornness, dominant characteristics, passive aggressive behavior, ego, pride, that one, those two, oh my God. My ego and I've always said it, my ego and my pride were ridiculous. Self-centered, narcissistic energy, and that type of mindset. And I agree. You have to, and it's not just, I'm not going to say that it's just women because everybody, men and women, I've seen some men with some egos that you can jump off of and kill yourself. But when you find someone that shows you something different and, you run into that bump in the road, it's not, that's where you have to, if this person is showing you something different that you've never seen, felt, thought, or anything, and just because you hit that first bump, are you going to just give up because your ego is bruised, or because you're feeling a type of way? That's like somebody giving you $1 million, and because one of the bills or one of the stacks is a little dirty, you're not going to keep it, or you're gonna work for that. That's what I think. That's my thing.
And your final thoughts?
My final thoughts. Oh, I gotta go all the way back up.
I think men are, they hold themselves accountable even without knowing. And I know other men will hold other men accountable even without knowing.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this, and you're right. A lot of women don't hold other women accountable, and they're like, yeah,
let her do her thing.
Yeah.
I support it. Like I said, even with us not knowing,
me, yeah.
I go to see my brother. He looks at me, gained a couple of pounds. Probably didn't go to the gym like I used to anymore. Not eating the way I used to anymore. He's gonna be like, "Damn, nigga, what happened to you? You used to be brolic." Holding me accountable.
It's true.
So now I'm like, shit, he's right. I was the man back in the day. What's up? And then that might be motivation for me to get back in the gym.
Yeah.
Whereas women are contributing to a lot more poor behavior.
Yeah, that's true. Because we're not brutally honest the way guys are. That's true.
Yeah.
And when one of my girlfriends, not that I do this all the time, but if they're like, "Oh, do I look fat in this?" I will tell her no. No, you do not. You look fine. Just put this on. Put this little shawl on.
Comes down to the feelings. Comes down to the feelings versus fact. But men, they'll put their pride and their ego aside and they walk up to women.
Yeah, all the time.
They're not sitting back there like, she's too good for me. I'm not gonna They'll put their pride on their side. They'll be humble. Walk up to, how are you doing?
Yeah, that's
What's
true.
your name?
That's true. But then you got them other
That's
cycles.
them now being humble. Like, we're not even looking in depth.
No,
Put
that's
their
true.
pride and their ego aside. What else?
But then
they lead. They lead without knowing.
Not all. But then you have those guys who, yes, even though they put their ego and pride aside to approach a woman, then when the woman says no, thank you, we've had a topic on this. There goes their pride all crazy, and they want to fuck you, bitch. I don't even like you. You ugly any old way. So
yeah, but leading, I'm not talking about on a monetary aspect.
No, that was my final thoughts on it.
My final thoughts are: invest in her mind. Learn to love and stroke her psychologically. Women become more emotional and mentally checked out before they are physically checked out, meaning they are already broken up with you without saying the words. Not every woman is that dominant or bold that or desire to be mean. But they're like breaking up with you. Sometimes there's women out there that break up with their boyfriend at least twice a month. And they could be living in the same house. So, if you have her mind, it doesn't matter what another man looks like. It doesn't matter his network or what he does. Every woman is submissive, whether it's for the moment, a circumstance, whether they're on drugs, inebriated, and now men are trying to take advantage of them. They're still submitting. They're opening their legs, they're submitting. Or they're submissive in that one relationship with that one man because of perhaps sexual prowess, great provider, one who calms their spirits when it's hectic, provides a safe space, emotional security, a great decision maker. Many different reasons why, and many different women submit to different things, especially in men, different types of men. When she's hard, rude, bossy with one man, she could be soft with another. Some women believe they're not built like that. Technically, if she's opening her legs, like I said, she's submitting. If she yields in many circumstances, defers you for the tough decisions, where to go, where to eat, what to cook, she's being submissive. At the end of the day, whether it's heterosexual or non-heterosexual, there's a masculine, there's a feminine, there's a dominant, and there's a submissive. No relationships can move forward. We won't even get through the day if we both argue all day. We won't even leave this room. We'll be here for 24 hours arguing, and not even somebody has to give up.
That's true.
And I might just keep going. You're like, okay, and then we leave.
Somebody got to tap out.
You know what I'm saying? So technically speaking, I'm a technical boxer. Yeah, somebody has to submit for the boat to take off. Because if we got both captains, no, not now. Nope, we ain't going nowhere.
No.
Some submission can be part-time, some submission can be full-time, and others could be 24/7, 365. It's inconsistent submission that is on the woman. Why even accept a man in your life or absorb your energy if you know you're not going to be your true energy or fully present there, like I've been saying throughout the course of the show. You can't give your all, you can't trust, you don't respect. How can you thrive? Why even do it? The woman requires maintenance for that to occur, and I don't mean financially. Mental and maintenance must be present. Her submission thrives because of his character. Now, if the man is doing all the right things and she's not submitting, she's not all in. She's not giving her all. She's the problem. She's the problem. She probably has to do internal work to battle whatever's going on with her, childhood traumas, whatever, because she's not in the right mind if she thinks that, for example, a guy opens the door for her, she thinks that that's simp behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because she's fucked up.
Yeah, she's not used to it.
Yeah. So if she's not healed, she's not going to identify that as healthy.
Yeah.
Let's see. The next man's going to have the same issues. She's the problem. It's not going to be, I didn't see some dominance in him, but it will be another guy. No, because she has internal issues. So if a car is broken, and every time you look at this, the whatever they call it, the cash Facts or something like that.
Oh, the
Carfax.
Carfax.
Carfax. If you look at the Carfax and you see that it had like 10 different owners, you're gonna be like, and they kept every person kept the car for 1,000 miles. Something's wrong with it.
Right. All they got is a new paint job.
Something's wrong with the car. It got too many owners in short amount of time. Something's up with the Ferrari.
Definitely.
I'm not doing it. I'm not buying it. Because now I'm going to have problems. Like, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to she being the problem. She has to heal. Her femininity is wounded. It's distorted. You know, and it's her responsibility to make the adjustment of her behavior. Doesn't matter what the man can do, give, support, hold her accountable or punish. It takes the will to move forward, rolling the dice and hoping to hit, taking a chance even if there's fear. You invest in the stock market, the whole shit crashes tomorrow. The risk you take is a hit or miss. Sometimes big risks is equate to big reward.
Yeah.
Possibilities are big, probabilities are big rewards, not possibilities. So you got to choose better, invest better, especially if you're dealing with adults. It's a choice or not a choice. Women need love and men need respect. Respecting your man is part of submission. And in return, the man can love the woman like a man, which is part of providing, protecting, and dominance. Just because we are human beings don't mean we're the same. Men and women don't love the same. We don't think the same, feel the same, aren't vulnerable the same. We don't speak the same love language. We don't speak on the same language. We don't speak the same language in general. Our brains are wired differently. Our hearts are wired differently. If we can understand each other's mind and how we operate, that's the start. Our nature and the opposite sex nature is second. Then there is acceptance. If we begin to project equality upon each other, which is a form of manipulation, and we fail to realize this, then this will lead to a path of destruction. Personally speaking, I will not find value in a woman who is a mirror of me. I will find value in a woman of opposite traits, behaviors, actions, personalities, or personality traits. You know, I don't believe we as men and women value or find attractive in the opposite, in the same things that we find in each other. For example, if I'm dominant, I won't value a woman who's a dominant woman. You know, like, why would I meet her and then be turned on by telling her, by her telling me her accomplishments and, you know, how much money she makes, what she can do to me sexually, how much of a handyman she is. You know, if she's like heavily tattooed, like me from neck to legs. You know, she's great at sex like me. She flirts or seduces like me. You know, she could do everything. She dresses like a boy. It's polar complementary opposites. That's what it comes down to. I believe men value this. You know, and if he says no, like, I'm meaning the opposite, like not the same, he's lying or he brainwashed. Or he just doesn't know how to articulate it.
That's probably more it.
You know, he's not an independent thinker. He's a follower. I don't believe any man likes a woman equal to him. This brings us back to the topic. Challenge her mentally and support him emotionally and spiritually. We each have different roles. You can't beat them. You got to join them. You can debate all day, but you can't fight science and biology.
That's true.
We get back in our nature due to possible risks, survival, circumstantial, environmental. Could be the bedroom, physiological, pain, trauma, etc.
That is a very good.
So it comes down to like accepting her inhibitions and her strengths. And it comes down to him as well. You know, that's what it comes down to. That's what's going to build the dynamic to be stronger. And it's going to allow us to not be afraid of connecting and being emotionally present there.
Yeah,
on both ends. Like, if I suck at folding clothes, but she's great at it and she wants to do that, that's her job.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I'll be a man enough to be like, I suck at this. I do it, but I suck. I cook, but I'm not a chef. She's a chef. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about accepting each of our flaws and then complementary opposites. She's good at that. That's the teamwork.
Yep.
That's the partnership.
Yep.
You know, so there's too much ego on trying to be equal. That sounds like emotionally damaged to me, whether it's a man or a woman.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like once we accept our role, we're going to be present in our role. We're not going to be afraid to give our role and now give our all to each other.
Yep.
That's what I think. You know, but this is like living a fictitious lie. Like it's like a fantasy world.
Well, that's why we come in to help teach the masses, open up some eyes. No me?
All right. So
it's nice to come back.
We're back.
Ew.
We're back. We're back. Man, a lot of things.
Right? We had so much coming up. We had so much happen. That's why we're finally back. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again on the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Peace.